Hi, I'm Kat from Kat's Abstract World, and today's post is about Peacemaker. Peacemaker is one of my current favorite comics on DC Unlimited. Peacemaker tries hard. I think it is extremely silly, and I love the art, and it's something I just enjoy a lot, as well as I do love the new version of Suicide Squad a million times more than the popularized version, because Peacemaker in it, John Cena, is just so funny, and the show Peacemaker as well has definitely become something that I'm very excited for the next season of. You have no idea how drenched and how important so far Peacemaker has been for me. It's just something that I really enjoy, and usually I don't find hobbies and shows that I enjoy, so this is definitely one of my binge list ones. I tried to draw it as the Peacemaker profile photo on Instagram. I just kind of tried to copy it a little bit, and I tried to draw, I used painting brushes and I painted John Cena. I wanted to have similar accuracies as the profile photo, but I didn't necessarily like the idea of having blood on them, so I didn't illustrate blood, but maybe for another post I will. I genuinely loved that intro of Peacemaker, so I really liked being able to draw the suit. I was gonna draw him, I was gonna do lower with the Peacemaker helmet, but I kind of changed my mind. Also, Peacemaker's helmet kind of reminds me of Juggernaut sometimes. I honestly always thought Juggernaut was kind of funny, but for some reason, when I first saw what Peacemaker was, when I saw John Cena playing as him with the helmet, because I didn't even know what Peacemaker was. I had no idea who that character was. I literally thought it was that X-Men vigilante until I realized it was a Peacemaker. Peacemaker is a very cool and one of my favorite DC characters. When I drew the emblem, I decided to make the eagle come out of the badge just because I wanted it to look kind of dynamic and different. It was definitely my favorite part of shading this post. I really loved being able to shade all the colors, and this, I'm not even joking when I say this post made me fall in love with art again. Just the shading and everything, I had so much fun. You can also see I was playing with the layers. My worst habit in the world is I take apart layers and see what looks better, and next thing I know, I give the audience a seizure because I'm clicking on 80 different values and buttons and layers, and I'm doing different alpha locks and clipping masks. And it's just a whole lot of boring things, really, but when it came to rendering his face and shading the eyes, I loved shading the eyes. This was and is one of my favorite parts of drawing a facial portrait. I also kind of view the painting as makeup, so I've noticed I'll draw the eyes kind of how I would draw my eyeshadow, and I definitely kind of turned it into doing makeup on men when it comes to shading. It's probably why I like doing makeup too, because it's kind of like art. I really, really appreciate portrait art, and when it came to all the rendering, I liked trying to make different contrasting blends, and I used the loaming, I believe, to blend everything together. This is my favorite portion, just working on the background. The shading was actually kind of hard for that because I didn't know how to make panels and I wanted it to look good. So I was just drawing random colors and using a ton of color selector and trying to illustrate panels, because it's supposed to be a metal American flag, I believe, it's the background. I don't remember, but I think it's his trailer. So I tried to make the texture look like the color was coming behind on a trailer that had the American flag, and I was just shading everything. You can see the way I shaded the silver stars instead of silver. I switched it to gold to complement the emblem, and then I added some pink and purple light with some peach color highlights to try to make the post look different and come together seamlessly. I wanted to just show where the light force was coming from, because yes, he's standing straight ahead, but the light is coming from the opposite side. And then I took a piece of one of the original photos I used as a reference, and I like cropped it in there and put it on there to define more detail. And then once I did that, I realized it didn't really look good, so I just took it off and went with what I drew in the first place, because I thought it wouldn't look good, but at the end of the day, I just went ahead and did what I was gonna do anyways. But I was just playing with different lighting and all mainly on that side. I did add some on the stars, but I was more focused on the right side of his face, only because he had his arm on the other side, so there was a lot going on this side. I wanted the other side to not look plain, so I thought by balancing out the post I'd be doing like more detail to make it look all cohesive. I took different references from the back as well as I did the clipping and pasted in the blue wall so I could use it to help build texture for the wall, because it's basically from a trailer and I wanted it to look metallic. So I added that in, and I did some final shading, and I really love how everything came out. This was my favorite Instagram post I've ever made. I'm not even joking. I show people when they're like, oh, you're an artist, what have you drawn? I show them this Peacemaker. Anyways, I'm Kat. You guys have a nice